California and the athletes of Group 2 about to take on their 5th event, the Wrecking Ball hold.
500 pounds in the hands. Whoever holds on to it the longest is the winner. Simple as that. Now, after this event, one man goes forward to the final, whoever's overall leader on points. The other two, second and third, go into a stone-off.
Well, Janashia and Peña already completed. Janashia is the leader, holding on for more than a minute and a second. But 4 more athletes still to compete. Mark Felix now, Colin. This surely, and I haven't seen Mark take on this event before, but I imagine he's going to be good at it.
He's very good. I mean, old man strength, whatever you want to call it. This guy has always had one of the strongest grips in the world. He's extraordinary. And he's in the zone. He's 6th place after 4 events. I'm not sure what he can do here. I don't think he can make his way into the stone-off, but this is more about pride now for Felix. To show he deserves to be here at 56 years old. Now, we've seen some big times in other groups, men doing nearly a minute and a half. So he's going to have to dig in hard here.
Dig in really is what Mark Felix is all about. Records and grip events like Hercules hold. Grip, grit, determination, focus. That is Mark Felix.
Well, we know Shaw and Thompson are going to put in huge efforts to try and make that stone off. But for Felix, this is pride. He doesn't want to beat the men in his group. He wants to beat everybody across every group.
Well, he's overtaken Janashia, hasn't he? And that psychologically, that 1 minute mark, so important.
I think he's fallen asleep. He looks rock steady.
Well, just starting to waver, maybe. But that's when he's at his best.
I'll tell you what, it's his legs that are wavering, not his grip. This could be a most extraordinary scene where his legs give out and not his grip.
Nearly 90 seconds now. 90. We're past it.
Yeah, some of the biggest hands I've ever seen. Boy, are they strong. Still works 6 days a week as a plasterer. He's such a tough guy, Felix. 1 minute 45. Could he do 2 minutes?
This is absolutely extraordinary, and I know we say it a lot, but please remember, he's 56 years old.
And he's also absolutely smoking everybody here. This is unbelievable.
My goodness me.
2 minutes. Comes and goes. The crowd is roaring him on to do more. And there's the big shake now. His legs are really wobbling. His core's giving up.
You talk about pride. You talk about doing it for pride. This is for the history books.
Oh my goodness me, the shake is enormous here. How much can he do? 2.5 minutes.
Wow. 2 minutes, 20 and a half seconds for Mark, the miracle man, Felix.
One of the greatest performances I've ever seen at World's Strongest Man. That was just mind-bendingly tough. Well done, Felix. Hey, he's in good shape too. Get the top off.
This guy, every year, he surprises and delights.
Well, that was a roar of pride. He knows it went all wrong in the log. 0 reps there.
Representing the United States.
Well, what a gauntlet to throw down once more for Bobby Thompson to react to. And make sure, of course, to tune into CBS Sports Network for continuing coverage of the SBD World's Strongest Man. Thursday, starting July the 28th.
Ready?
Also available on the CBS Sports app.
On the whistle.
Now we know that first place goes straight through to the final after this event, and that's obviously looking like being Super Hooper, Mitchell Hooper. But this man sits in second at the moment in his group. And he puts in a good enough time here. He'll hold that position ahead of Brian Shaw. And they're the likely two to go into the stone-off. And that matters because you have the advantage of receiving the stone. But we'll more about that as we get there.
Absolutely. Look at this. 30 seconds now for Thompson, but talk about a hill to climb. 2 minutes 20 for Mark Felix. It seems insurmountable, but Thompson has the grit.
Digging in, eyes shut, trying to find a happy place in his mind somewhere. Somewhere other than right here, holding this 500-pound wrecking ball.
Well, if he can pass a minute and 1 second, he'll beat 2 men. Looks, yes, like he's done that.
He's done that indeed, so he's got himself into the stone off. Just asking the referees there, have I done enough? And they're not going to answer him.
It's not their job.
No, they mustn't get involved. Oh, Bobby, he knows that Shaw's still to come. He knows Hooper's still to come. He's not going to beat Felix this time, so he puts it down.
Well, he weighed up his options there, didn't he? And he's currently in second.
Absolutely behind Felix in this event, but we still have Shaw and we still have Super Hooper to come.
Who was he thinking about there? Well, the continuation of the Wrecking Ball hold when we return to the SPD World's Strongest Man. Welcome back. We are continuing with event 5, the Wrecking Ball hold. Mark Felix, the leader, with an incredible 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Still left to compete, though. Brian Shaw, first up.
Yes, indeed, and then we'll have Mitchell Hooper, who's really got to do nothing because he's won so many points in the first 4 events. An unusual situation for Big Brian. He's battling for his life here. Depending on how this goes, he should end up in the stone off. Whether he'll be in second or third, we'll find out very soon. And there is an advantage to being in second. Ideally, he will go ahead with Bobby Thompson and Mark Felix, but 2 minutes 20 is a big ask.
It's a huge ask. An ask put down by Mr. Grip himself, Mark Felix.
And he gets over a minute, manages to beat Peña and Janashia. He'll be guaranteed third place. That'll mean Mitchell Hooper will no doubt go on to the final directly. And we will see a battle between the 2 giant Americans, Thompson and Shaw, in the stone-off. But he's got to get there first. He doesn't look entirely comfortable.
He's bearing down, not all important. Minute and a second.
Oh, he's shaking!
Has to hold on. He does.
He's gone past Peña. He's gone past Janashia. He doesn't make Thompson's time, but it'll be enough. He's in the stone-off.
Well, Brian Shaw doesn't know he belongs in the stone-off. Scraped his way there, Colin.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a huge battle between him and Thompson. Of course, he used to be known as the King of the Stones, Brian, so I'm sure there's plenty of life left in the old dog yet.
Well, what about the new dog, Mitchell Hooper, breakout rookie sensation. This is his first international competition. Here's his SPD power profile.
My name is Mitchell Hooper. I'm 6'3", 315 pounds, 26 years old. I live in Barrie, Ontario. And this is my first World's Strongest Man appearance. I don't know my path to getting here. I'd be the least experienced World's Strongest Man competitor of all time.
You're always like this. You need to triple extend.
And learning stuff here.
Yeah, absolutely.
No room for errors. I've been gifted to learn it at World's Strongest. The only potential that I could be better is golf. I went down to Sean Foley's school, who was Tiger Woods' coach at the time. The first day of playing with the guys, I shot 4 under on 9 holes. I beat everyone by 4 or 5 strokes who's in that school. I could be on the PGA Tour right now. I started strongman 2 years ago. I've done a local comp. I have 2 state titles. I've done 2 state qualifiers. I did the 475 kilo deadlift. Bodyweight, that put me 3rd all time behind Eddie and Thor at the time. 485 axle deadlift, which was a world record for 12 hours before Gabriel Peña broke it. I have the Static Monsters world record. I think I could win my group. I think I could get to the finals. And to say that in a group with Brian Shaw, Konstantine Janashia, Bobby Thompson, it's a bit of a mental battle to consider yourself part of that ilk. But I believe it's a serious possibility. I've never pulled a truck before.
I saw my mom, Bonnie Bryan, my fiance, Ashley Harrison here. My mom, this is the first time she's seen me compete. I've taken all of them on quite a ride. Mom, chill.
Well, Mitchell Hooper, such an impressive character. As we said earlier, there's something advantageous sometimes about not knowing what you can't do.
On the whistle. Tell you what he can do, he can deadlift huge weights. We've seen that already. And he's ramrolled straight there. particularly honest with the rules. Oh, he puts it down. Do you know what? He only had to pick it up and put it down to get enough points.
Well, he played a canny game.
Indeed. He's through to the final.
World's Strongest Man final.
Just
Let's
extraordinary.
hear it from Mitchell.
Qualifies for the final. Mitchell Hooper just turns up and storms it.
That's unbelievable. By virtue of the fact he's leader overall after 5 events, he won't go in the stone off. That'll be Shaw and Thompson.
Representing Great Britain, Mark Felix.
And there's the winner of the Wrecking Ball Hold, oldest event winner in World's Strongest Man history.
Bravo.
So, with his grip strength, Felix takes an event win. Mitchell Hooper did just what he needed to maintain his top spot in the standings to qualify for the final. And the 2 Americans, Bobby Thompson and Brian Shaw, will head into the stone off. This being the first ever appearance in the stone off for Shaw, who usually secures that automatic spot in the final. Now to James and Eddie.